All right, I want to show you how to make different book cover templates or other things like that. Basically, it's using smart objects. And so if you command click on any of these, you can find the what I labeled as the cover, and it says edit this. So that's actually the smart object. That little icon indicates smart object. When you double click, you click OK. And so all of this, you see it opens in another document called layer2.psb. And so it saves all of this within this PSD, but it's still kind of treated separately. So because it's a smart object, I can tweak any of this, say like hide this, so now I'm showing my other book cover. Command S to save. And then once it finishes saving, tab over to my other document. And then you can see that those have all updated live. So all of this is actually the exact same smart object. I just duplicated it and then scaled it down. So what you can do, well, I'll show you how to do that in a second, but right now I want to show you what else goes into making one of these book covers. So let's take a look at this medium size. We've got gloss, we've got all of this around here. And so it's taking this flat design in the smart object and adding life to it. And the advantage to this is that someone who doesn't know what they're doing, they only have to edit this smart object, throw in a quick icon, some text, and save it, and it comes out looking pretty good. So if you command click on the smart object here, you've got that selected, you can just start turning off layers. So you toggle this cover gloss layer, and you can see that this little bit of gloss shows and hides, and the spine highlight, that is adding a highlight right across there, and the spine shadow is doing the other thing. So if we turn off the highlight and the shadow, then it's just flat and we don't have a spine at all anymore. Now you can see that the all of these layers are clipped to the cover outline, and that, so if I were to unclip them, you can see that they now stick out, and the spine is too tall and everything. So I'm going to undo that. Okay, so that's part of it. I'm going to hide all those layers. Now you can see there's another cover behind here as well, and the reason for that is that's actually the back of the book, which you can show and hide there. And you can see it has another of that same smart object clipped to it. So if I show and hide that, you can see that the color changes. The reason why I have the smart object twice is I want the book color, I want to get that same color of the book on that back image. Now you can also see I have a color overlay on this, on the back one, with the 10% black overlay. And so what that's doing is that's making it so that, let me turn this back on, so that my back, my back cover of the book matches the color of the front, but then is 10% darker. So that way, no matter what color they put in here into the smart object, even if we do something, let's create a new layer and go with pure white, save that. My computer's being a little slow right now. Well, that didn't come out quite as well as I'd liked because it's just pure white, but the idea is, whether the blue or the red, it comes out looking good, and it updates in every place. So that's why it updates twice there. Other things, looking through this medium book folder, which is this one, you'll notice that, first there's a shadow on the book that's down across the bottom, and that's pretty much it. I've got two different, for the pages, I've got two layers for that, and they've got a little pattern overlay on them, and I'll show you that. So it's just a pattern to create that right there. But what you'll notice is that there's no layers in here related to, the text of the book, that icon, the names, because those are all inside the smart object. All right, hopefully that overview makes sense. I'm going to create a new document, 1000 pixels square. And what I can do is create a new shape. And then, so I've got that there, and I can just right click. Where did it go? Oh, convert to smart object, right there. And now when I double click on it, it opens in that new layer. I can fill it with, just to make it obvious, I'll fill it with red. Oops. There we go. And when I save it, that's going to update. Well, and I'll add some other things. This is going to be really ugly, but that's okay. So we'll save that. You can see that that's updated. And then, so I'm going to call this edit this, because that's part of a template. Then I'm going to duplicate. And I can just drag it to a new position and then scale it down. I could also do some other things, like I could change the perspective. There we go. So now I've got these two here. And again, when I come over to here, change this color to blue, save, both of those changed. So I could make any template that I wanted, and you know, have more of these really at any size. And when I change one, it's going to change them all. All right, so then what you would do is you would create one template, like this. You know, I always do the big one first, and then right here. So then, you know, I would go through and add a highlight and a shadow, and I would add all the details around the outside, but none for the cover itself. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions.